I'm about to tell you something that car dealerships never want you to hear about. I was a manager in the car dealerships for 28 years, and I made the owners of those dealerships millions of dollars. And there was one sentence that if a customer said it, it made my stomach drop. Because I knew instantly that we could potentially lose the sale, that we're not going to make a bunch of money, and that there was nothing that we could do about it. And today, I'm going to be giving you that sentence. And once you know this, you're never going to negotiate the same way again. Listen, I did not sell cars, but I trained salesmen to control customers and how to slow them down and how to push them emotionally to get them to spend more money than they were planning to. And most people never saw it happening, but some customers did. And those customers, they scared us. So let me ask you something. How many times have you heard, I have to go talk to my manager? That sounds innocent, right? Well, it's not. Here's what's actually happening. So 40% of the time, the salesman goes to the manager and they're really not talking about the deal. They know it's reasonable and they know that they're going to be able to do something. Another 40% of the time, the salesman is checking their email, going and getting coffee, bullshitting with one of the other managers, waiting that 8 to 12 minutes on purpose. Because every minute that you sit there, you're going to convince yourself to pay more. And the other 20% of the time, the deal was already approved and it was pure theater. And I trained this. Okay, so here's the part that should really make you angry. And the customers that politely waited after the salesman said, I have to go talk to my manager, they paid on average $2,800 more than a normal purchase. And the customers that used the tactic that I'm about to give you, they paid $2,400 less than a normal purchase. And that's a $5,200 swing. That should make you angry. And that's for you saying one sentence. Okay, so before I became a manager, I went through a lot of training, and it wasn't on cars. It was on pure psychology. There was an entire segment of our training dedicated to this tactic. And we were taught never let the customer talk directly to the manager, use silence to create doubt, always counter the customer's offer, even if it was reasonable and profitable. And if they question this tactic, you need to act offended. And this wasn't just one store, it was every dealership that I worked at. And we had a name for customers that used this tactic. We called them mooches. And this wasn't because that they were cheap. It was we knew that we could not control them. And this one phrase instantly identified them. This customer is not going to wait. This customer will walk. And this customer is not bluffing. And this terrified us. And this is the nuclear phrase that they all used. And here it is. When the salesman says, hey, I need to go talk to my manager, you need to say, hey, that's great. Listen, I'm going to go over to ABC Motors. I've already worked a deal with them. If your manager decides that he wants to take my offer, I have my phone on me and I'm good for 24 hours. If he wants to call me and accept my offer, that's great. And if I don't hear back from you, I'll just assume that we're done here. And then you stand up and then you walk out. And this statement works for 4 reasons. Number 1, you named a specific competitor, ABC Motors. Number 2, you didn't threaten them. You stated your next move. And there's nothing for them to argue with. And number 3, you stated 24 hours, so you created some urgency. And that's for the dealership, and that's not for you. And number 4, you actually got up, you removed yourself, you walked away. And here's the words that the dealerships, they're run by. And here's the rules that we lived by. Your words don't matter, movement matters. So when a customer actually used this is typically what happens next. 60% of the time, we would chase them out to the parking lot. We would make them a fair deal. We'd try to make them a happy customer. 30% of the time, we would be on the phone with the customer trying to make a better deal for them. And the other 10% of the time were the customers that truly made an offer below cost and we couldn't make a deal with them anyway. Okay, so what if you're uncomfortable about getting up and standing up and walking away? There's softer versions of this. Okay, so the first version is, hey, listen, I've got price quotes from a couple of other dealers. I really appreciate your time, and if you could just, let me talk to your manager directly, and we'll see if we can iron this out. The next one is the timer. You set your timer on your phone. You just say, hey, listen, I've got 5 minutes. If your manager wants to come out and talk to me, if they want to make this deal happen, great. If not, I'm out of here in 5. And that timer on your phone matters. And the last one, which isn't necessarily very soft, but if you ask them for their invoice price, all the incentives, and a printout up front that you can take with you, that's not a strategy that I would advise, because again, that is going to be keeping you in the dealership longer than you're probably going to want to be. And again, the longer that you're there, the more in control they are. So I would actually stick to some of the other options for you. Hey, if there's anybody out there that's purchased a car in recent memory, do me a favor, go down in the comments and leave me some feedback on the dealership that you did business with. And if there's anybody out there that's in the market for a new or used car and you want my professional advice, go down to the description. There's a one-on-one Zoom link for a 30-minute consultation with me. It's my goal to save you as much time and money as possible. You know, last month alone, I saved one client $3,200 by having a 30-minute conversation with me. I know it works, and I know I can help. Now, when you say stuff like this, the salesman's going to say things like, well, hey, you know, man, I spent a lot of time with you. You know, be patient. We got to make a deal here. And then you just need to say, hey, listen, I'm just here to see if I can negotiate and get the best price that I possibly can. I'm not interested in spending a lot of time here. If they say something like that's going to try to instill some sort of fear and loss in you, if they go, well, you know what, I've got another customer, the car could sell out from under you, you just need to let them know, hey, listen, I understand that. I could find another car elsewhere. Don't worry about me. And then if they say, hey, you know, my manager's really busy, just say, look, that's great. I've got my phone on me. Have him call me as soon as he gets freed up. And you know, here's a real secret. If the dealership knows that you have to buy a car today, then none of this stuff works, because if they smell desperation, that's going to put them more in control. So they don't need to know that you have to buy a car today. The customers that actually don't care, those are the ones that are in control and have the most options. People like that, they're immune. And no dealership tactics are going to work. And if you're willing to walk makes you totally immune to everything. So there's some prepping steps that you can take that are going to actually help you demand more control of the situation. And there's no secret here, okay? You got to go online. You need to figure out you know, who you're buying from, how much the car costs, what the invoice costs are, what the incentives are on the car. You need to become a student of shopping and really get some control and knowledge under your belt about what things cost. Knowledge is power. The more that you can do that, the better off you're going to be able, you know, going into the dealership situation. Pick 3 vehicles at 3 dealerships. Know the invoice price and the incentives. Set your maximum price and commit to it. Don't become emotional. The people that are emotional buyers, they end up spending the most. Your detachment in this situation is your weapon. So my advanced move, and this is something that I preach in all of my videos, is never, ever, ever step foot on the dealership's lot if you can avoid it. And that's by getting together a good email chain. You know, email 7 or 8 dealerships and say, I'm buying a car XYZ by this date, and I need to get out the door pricing quotes from all of you, and whoever has the lowest price on the car wins. Those are the people, if you could try to do everything from text, email, or phone call, those are going to be the people that are going to actually come out on top and be ahead of the game. No pressure, no games, no competition. We always hated those customers because those were the ones that always won. And I know all of this stuff works because in real life, this is a typical scenario. Customer would come in, they would try to get a price quote from us. We would have them wait that 8 to 10 to 12 minutes, sometimes longer. We would come back with another counter offer on their already reasonable offer, and then they get up and leave. And the next thing you know, customer calls back. She calls back 3 hours later and says, hey, I just purchased a car, so you can go ahead and take me off your email and call list because I've already bought from another dealer. And she bought a car somewhere else for less money. Okay, so the next time that somebody tells you, hey, I need to go talk to my manager, you smile, You stand up, you state your plan, and then you get up and leave. And then watch what happens next. This tactic will save you thousands. And if it saves you thousands, comment, leave me. I'd like to get your feedback. Because after 28 years of taking money from people, I would really like to see you keep it. Okay, so, I've been doing these videos for a while, and I just want to let people know that if I help one person and if I can save one person money, it's all been worth it. And remember, knowledge is power. And the more homework that you do from your couch cushions, the better off you're going to be. All right, so there you go. There is one key phrase, one key sentence that you can use that works in all situations. And it basically means that if you're willing to get up and leave and walk away, then you're going to get the best deal and you're going to be able to take control of the situation. So now that you know a little bit more about how to take control and get a better deal on your car, you need to watch this next video. This one is about some of the tactics that the guys in these car stores that they wish you didn't know about. So until next time, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We're going to catch you on the next one, and goodbye.